That was perfect. Great intro, Roo Boy. Hey, good morning. New Hampshire Man here, out with the sunrise to get some plants in the ground. I have a tree that came in yesterday, a Honeycrisp, going in the ground right here. They're in the bucket right there. Roots are soaking. I also have some Nankin cherry, a bush cherry, that's going to be going in a food hedge that I'm putting out front. So scour around my website, newhampshireman.com, and YouTube to find out more about that. This week's post at newhampshireman.com is back into chickens, the How to Raise Chickens series, and it is about putting chickens to work. And hopefully right here you can see how much I'm practicing what I preach. This whole spot that I'm standing in right now was field, and would be if the chickens didn't have all spring to keep all the grass from coming up. And pretty soon I'm going to be planting a Three Sisters garden in here. That's corn, beans, and squash. So again, stay tuned to New Hampshire Man to learn more about that. But this is just one of the many resources that I use chickens for. So I think the use of chickens to prepare land is the most underutilized resource in the backyard farm and homestead. And the examples that I go through predominantly at my article, which I'll link to in the description right here at newhampshireman.com, is like annual garden cleanup and preparation. So keeping your chickens in your garden, like if I don't really do a fall cleanup anymore, and that's a story for another time too, but if I did, I would just try to get my chickens to go to my garden and fence them in there. But in the spring, I certainly do need to do some cleanup. So I bring all the debris from the garden to the chicken run, and they turn all that and they scratch it all up and turn it into compost for me to take back to the garden. But I could also close my chickens in my garden, which I haven't done yet, but I'm interested in trying. And then they would do a surface till, a weed cleanup, light fertilizing, and that's really what I want to get into, is like all these functions start stacking once you use your chickens wisely. The other thing that I use chickens for, which I'm really amped about, is compost, which I think we've talked about a little bit before. All organic matter, like I said, from the garden, the kitchen, the yard, all that goes to the run. I pile it up, the chickens scratch it down, spread it out. A couple weeks later, I pile it back up in a new place. They scratch it up, pull it down. Before you know it, I turn that pile 3 times or so, and it is just this sweet compost, which I'm using in that wheelbarrow right now as I plant this tree. And I also have been putting it on the garden. The other thing that has been really cool and kind of a surprise is that by bringing my leaves in the fall into my run, they scratch that up a little bit, but then like where those leaves meet the compost pile, I take a leaf rake, and like these are shredded leaves at this point, and like rake those shredded leaves in with some compost, and it makes this really, oh my god, makes this really sweet mulch material to go over to keep weeds at bay, but also to as it rains, it leaches those that fertility into the soil. It's just so beautiful. I'll be using that a lot too for planting these guys. Okay, so like garden prep, turning a field into a garden, so like bed establishment, tilling, fertilizing, compost, like all of this is in addition to what people usually get chickens for, which is eggs. Like I think that's why I consider that to be the most underutilized resource. Man, I think that's it. Everybody's screaming out here. So let me show you something actually. I'm about to close these guys out of here because it's getting to be time to plant some corn. And one of the things that I'm particularly interested in is moving your chicken coop near where you garden, and then having this fence and this gate. So this is the gate that I set up. So this gate right here, this one lets them into this area, my Three Sisters plot, right? And then this one here, sorry, the sunlight's coming up. This gate here gives them access to the field, which you can't see because of the darkness. But anyway, I fenced in another section of the field. What I wanted to do was make sure that I give the chickens something that's more enticing than where they've been, because I'm worried that they're gonna find a way to like jump over the fence and stuff and then scratch up what I've planted in here. The other thing I might do is run a piece of fishing line just around above the fence, but around the whole perimeter, so when they hop up onto the fence to jump over, they'd be like, ah! And then go back to where they should be. So I'll let you know how that goes, but I'm excited to finally move into this system where I have the chickens right next to where I'm gardening. Okay, that's it for putting chickens to work. Swing over the article in case I missed anything in this video, but it is certainly worth doing. I hope you got something out of this. Make sure you like it, subscribe to the channel, and swing over to New Hampshire Man. Leave some comments, let me know how it's going. And with that, farewell.